So, what is to become of the trial into the co-Pivian Embassy staff member's murder? Indeed, since both the suspect and the prosecutor are now dead, the case will be dismissed. In other words, the trial ends here prematurely. Looks like you'll have to wait for just a bit longer for your big debut. I suppose it can't be helped. The evidence for this trial will be transferred to you in a little while. So, what do you think about the murder of the Copivian Embassy staff member? And the murders of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Well? What an outrageous circus it has all become. That Faraday brought it all upon himself with his naivety. An outrageous circus. Right, sir? I grow weary of this topic, Edward. I will have you assigned to a different case. Papa, you come and watch my co debut next, won't you? I'll consider it. Sir, if I may, please allow me to continue with my investigation. Whatever for? I know that there is already a suspect in the murder of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Well. However, there is not enough evidence to prove that it was he who committed the crime. I'd like to continue investigating in order to find the perfect proof of his guilt. The perfect proof? Don't make me laugh. A worthless person like you has no right to claim such a thing as perfection. Papa? Who do you think is the real culprit behind these murders? Miles and I will compete to see who can find the real killer first. Plus, being able to investigate a real crime scene is a real rare opportunity. It would give us some real-life experience, wouldn't you agree? If you want to investigate this case that much, then do as you wish. Then, you're allowing us to continue? Of course, your top priority is to win, and a solid investigation is one of the keys to winning. We have to make sure you become recognized as a first-rate prosecutor, don't we? It wouldn't be very interesting otherwise. I'm returning home now. Edgeworth, Francisca, see to it I'm not disturbed, save for the results of your competition. Yes, sir. Of course, Papa. Francisca, thank you. What are you thanking me for? Your logic only was built on that scruffy detective's lie. That means that the competition is still on. Yes, just as you wished. I couldn't let you get off so easily. Now then, let's see how well you fare on the investigation from here, Miles Edgeworth. Right now, I don't have enough information yet. So my first order of business would be to question anyone involved with this case. Any day now, I'll be taking my rightful place behind this bench. By that time, I should already be standing here. I'll be downright disgraceful if I beat you to it, wouldn't I? If that were to happen, Francisca, I'll eat my crab out. It's the fences of Tony's bets. I'll be standing on this side of the courtroom if that incident hadn't happened. What are you thinking about? Lately, the more weekly your face becomes, the less I'm able to read what you're thinking. I never. Having no, I don't have a single wrinkle upon my youthful brow. This must be the judge's desk. You can tell by the gravel sitting on top. I had a dream once I was being squashed from above by this gravel. You're such a weakling, Miles Edgeworth. You have no idea how frightening it was. It's a witness stand. I'll make sure that each and every person that ever stands here will be found guilty. Others besides the defendant that stand at this podium, you know. I don't care. Just make sure you never end up standing at one of these. Or you'll be sorry. I'll keep that in mind. It's you. Oh, it's you, Edward. And who are you? You at the crime scene just now, weren't you? You should be disbarred for not knowing who I am! I am Francisca von Karma, and I am about to become the successor to the family name. About to? Yes, that means for now, you're still just another kid. In which case, it's only natural that I didn't know who you are. Why are you whipping me? Anyway, it looks like they're planning to hold the evidence a bit longer. If there's one thing I can't stand, it's raining. I'm terribly sorry, but I have a few more questions to ask of you. Look at you! Eyebrow squads of flies on your forehead! And that to ask of you. What exactly is so funny? Sorry, I'm just bad at dealing with a super serious atmosphere. Apparently, they failed to teach you proper behavior at a crime scene in law school. I feel much better now. So what is it you want to talk about? I'd like to inquire as to where you were at the time of the murder. We were in defendant lobby number 1 the whole time up until we heard the gunshot. And by we, I mean Mr. Bad. If you don't believe me, feel free to ask him yourself. With Detective Bad. Why? We had a little something to discuss, that's all. So I take it that you are acquaintances with Detective Bad. Yeah, he was a detective in charge of the KG8 incident. Detective Bad is also related to that incident? That's right. He was the one who was supposed to protect my sister, Cece. But you know how that turned out, don't you, Edgeworth? Miles Edgeworth, I have no idea what you two are talking about. I've heard of the KG8 incident from my papa. How does that case relate to you, Miss Yew? The victim of that case, CCU, was my little sister. I'm making that super serious face again. Fine. Well, I just make it a point to watch people aside on his unit pride every time I see him. As he talks about doing that as he laughs away, it's kind of creepy. Speaking of Mr. Bad, he and Mr. Faraday, I'd say they met up just about every single time the Yatagashu made a move. It was practically a given that the two would meet up at every one of the crime scenes. I see. He did mention that he's in charge of the Yatagashu investigation earlier. I should ask her what she knows about the Yatagashu in more detail. You claim that at the time of the murder, you were with Detective Bad. But don't you lawyers usually discuss the trial with your clients during a recess? We do, and that's what I was planning to do. Mr. Faraday was being rather threatening, and he dragged Mr. Well away. After that, Mr. Bad came into lobby number 1, so we just stayed there and talked. And what did you talk with Detective Bad about? Nothing interesting. I just insulted him some. Talked about how the trial was going, and then I insulted him some more. Bloody... When she's not laughing, her mouth seemingly spews nothing but insults. Anyway, Mr. Bad and I were in defendant lobby number 1 when the murders occurred. I really can't tell you anything about the hallway or lobby number 2. I see. I'd like to ask you a few questions about your client, Mr. Matt Corral. Your client first claimed to be Yatagashu, is that correct? Yeah. Once I heard that it was the Yatagashu that had made off with the evidence from KG8, I began to ask Mr. Thorell all sorts of questions, but to no avail. Turns out Mr. Well was not the Yatagashu. He had just made that up. He made it up? Mr. Thorell's crime was caught on tape by the security cameras. But There's no footage of him sneaking into the Copian embassy itself. Hold on for just 1 second! And you mean to say that you knew that he was not the real Yatagashiro? And that he was just another cold-blooded killer? And you were ready to defend him? Yes, that's right. I see. So the defense lawyer is actually just someone whose job is to cover for criminals. That's why defense lawyers are so detestable. But they are no match for us Von Karmas. I don't believe it, you're serious! Why don't you say that face was something really worth being serious about? Kanadzov, do you remember what I said earlier? I have my own agenda. I'm so on the hunt for leads regarding the KD8 incident, alright? And for that, you have not a single call about defending a known killer? Don't put words in my mouth. I said no such thing. The only way I had to get close to Mr. L was to be his lawyer. I had no intention of coming for him. Ever. So don't you dare suggest I was going to. I'm sorry. Forgive my rashness. Miss Yew, I was wondering if you could tell me about the Yatagashiro. The Yatagashiro, huh? I don't really know much about that character myself. I do get a lot of consolation requests from companies to defend them. Requests from companies? The Yatagashiro isn't some petty thief out for money, you know. Alright then. Perhaps the Yatagashiro is in the business of stealing people's lives. You're not very funny or witty, are you, little Miss Von Karma? Francisca, be careful about who you whip. Choose carefully or we might be sued by her! There, I chose carefully, just like you want it. That just now was hilarious, little Missy. Of course it was. What is wrong with these two women? Why does my pain give them delight? And so in the end, what is the Yatagashiro? I have to say I have never even heard of this when I was in Germany. This thief when I was in Germany. The Yatagashiro deals in information, namely digging out the dirt about backroom dealings at the likes of companies. The Yatagashiro is a vigilante who steals such information and makes it public for all to see. Vigilante or not, this person sounds like just another criminal to me. I suppose you could put it that way too. Either way, I get a lot more clients now thanks to that thief. Sounds like Miss Yew is profiting nicely. I suppose I've got all I can out of Miss Yew. So move on and speak with Detective Gumshoe now. Detective Gumshoe. Hey, it's you, pal. You're here. Ah! As am I. I think you need to whip him to let him know that. I didn't do it, pal. I swear on my honor as a detective, I really didn't. Your words are useless. I place my trust only in the evidence, detective. Once the investigation is fully over and should we find out that you are the killer, there will be no mercy to be had for you. Have a heart, pal. But you're not worried, right? After all, you have nothing to worry about if you really are innocent, that is. That's right. Hey, pal, go and do your perfect investigation and get the real killer for me, will you? I would have done so even had you not requested me to, detective. So you and Mr. Faraday had a small meeting last week, did you? What exactly did you do to make him so angry? I just asked Detective Brad the same thing myself, pal. Turns out he was mad at me because of my very first day as a detective. I put it in at my usual post instead of the criminal affairs department. By the time I got down to criminal affairs, I was really late. And that's when he gave me that huge speech. I remember doing the same exact thing in elementary school. On the first day of school every year, I'd always wind up going to my old classroom. How pathetic for a detective to be comparable to a mere school child. You claim to be standing guard in front of the door to lobby number 2 during the recess. However, when did you receive the orders to do so, and from who? Only at around 3:20 and from Detective Bad Pal. Today's trial took a really crazy turn. So I was told to make sure nothing happened to Mr. Faraday. And yet something did happen to him, correct? It looks like it was a total waste of manpower to assign you to guard duty. Ow! Your one thing worse than your wear, pal. So it was Detective Bad who ordered him to stand guard, huh? Now then, Detective Gumshoe. Is there anything else you'd like to tell me? Nope, not a thing, pal. In that case, allow us to take a look at what you are carrying on your personage. Ah! Wait! You can't do that! There's nothing of any particular value here. Well, my handcuffs and pads were confiscated by Detective Bad, so you know. And what is that open envelope I see sticking out of your coat pocket? Hands off, pal! Just show it to us already! Annual bonus check. Within $5 total. Except there's no check inside. You've had your luck, now give it back, pal. It's my first bonus as a brand new detective. I just got and cast it today. I had really no cash on me up until I did, you know? The envelope is really special to me, now give it back! You don't need rubbish like this, don't worry. We'll throw it away for you later. Oh, could you? I'm sorry, but I need to take him in for questioning now. I think I've asked him just about everything I need to. No, wait. Since he became a suspect, there's one piece of evidence I should reconfirm. Officer, I ask that you wait a second. I still have one thing I'd like to reconfirm with Detective Gumshoe. Understood, but please make it brief, sir. I want to hear from the horse's mouth. I must confirm whether or not his testimony about when the crime occurred is the truth. You told me earlier that you heard no sound other than the gunshot out in the hallway. Is that correct? No mistake about it, pal. Did you also claim that no one passed through the hallway either? Is that also correct? Yep, not even a single ant passed through the hall while I was on duty. You do realize that the lie you're telling is only making life more difficult for yourself. Oh. But it's true. I didn't see anyone go through the hallway, and I didn't hear anything else, pal. I bet the killer found a way to kill the two guys that's beyond what I can even imagine. So he intends to continue telling this ridiculous lie. But why would he do so, given the situation he's in? I believe a thorough investigation of the hallway in front of the defendant lobby is in order. You! Ah! You did not notice that coming. Wasn't that the shot I changed money for earlier? Thanks! That's exactly what I needed! Kids, something would be so cool. It looks like he dropped something. maybe we should arrest the guard. She might turn out to be a valuable lead. I believe some sort of punishment may need to be dealt the next time we meet. I believe I've asked all I need to of this man. Now for Detective Bird and the judge. We have to confirm who is correct, the judge or that scruff-face, right? I suppose we should inspect the hall in front of lobby number 2 next then. I suppose so. Shall we head on over, Francisca? So, did you see anything else? No, I don't think so. I see. Well, thanks for your cooperation. Oh, it's nothing. Just doing my duty as a defender of the law. That'll be all for now. I'll ask again if I have any other questions. Anytime, Detective. Now, if you excuse me, I have a few loose ends I have to tie up. Oh, you're that new prosecutor Mr. Von Kammer recommended, right? My name is Miles Edgeworth, Your Honor. And I'm Manfred Von Kammer's daughter, Francisca Von Kammer. I'm set to become the successor to my genius father any day now, Your Honor. I see. New prosecutor. Ah! I bit my tongue. You're right, Your Honor. Please, repeat your refer to me as this Miss Von Kammer, Your Honor. As for him, just Edgeworth is fine. Apparently somebody doesn't feel that I'm worthy of a proper title. Oh, very well then. I shall call you Miss Von Kammer and Mr. Prosecutor Edgeworth. Your Honor, Mr. Edgeworth is fine, sir. Now, about your earlier testimony. Yes, what about it, Mr. Edgeworth? I would like to ask you a few questions about what exactly you saw. Alright, after all, it's my duty to clarify my testimony as a defender of the law. I greatly appreciate your cooperation, Your Honor. Now, the first thing I will need to do is figure out the detective's exact movements. Your Honor, I'd like to ask you a few questions if you don't mind. Where were you at the time of the murder? Do you suspect me of something? No, nothing of the sort, Your Honor. Very well. You may continue with your testimony. Your Honor, it's your testimony I'm after. Oh, I had no idea you were chasing after me or my testimony. I'm beginning to sense that I might want to avoid being in a trial won by this judge. Let's see here. Now then, how should I put this? When you get to be my age, you need to pay more frequent visits to the West Room. You'll take a look through the window at the end of this hall. You'll see a small window. That is the window to the men's restroom. In other words, you can clearly see clearly into this hallway from the men's restroom. When I was going into the restroom, that detective comes to, is it? Well, he was standing in front of the vending machines buying something from it. However, and this I couldn't believe, when I was about to exit the restroom, there was not a soul in the hallway anymore. Your Honor, if you could please calm down and explain it to me rationally. Oh, I'm really sorry. Please let me regain my composure. It was really suspicious. That's what my finely honed judge's intuition said. Although, well, until the murders occurred, I just sort of brushed it off. Apparently, this judge doesn't understand the concept of staying calm. That's probably all I'm going to find out from His Honor. Mr. Edgeworth, may I return to my other duties now? I'm sorry to have held you up. Thank you for your cooperation, Your Honor. Oh, anytime, Mr. Edgeworth. Anytime. The judges in this country seem rather friendly. It's just not a little wishy-washy. However, I hear that they are known to hand down very fair verdicts. Protect the bad. I have something I wish to inquire about. Hey! How about you doing some actual work, you? I wish to inquire into Detective Gumshoe's movements during the recess. You're getting in the way of the investigation. I have an order from Mr. Boncom himself. Plus, I still hold investigative authority. So I hear you were the one who called for Detective Gumshoe to come down here. Follow me. That guy was just accused, you know? I just knew something was going to happen. My detective's instinct told me. A lot of good it did you. You can even protect one lone prosecutor with it. Hold it! Francisca, I think you need to apologize. I'm sorry. I'm terribly sorry, Detective Madden. Please continue. I used the phone on the first floor and called it the precinct. I told them to send somebody over, and that detective was the one that showed up. And only upon his arrival did you send Detective Gumshoe to send God Detective Bad? Yeah, I waited for him on the first floor. After we got here, we came up to the defendant's lobbies together. As we entered the hallway, we went into Yew. She told us that Faraday was really mad, and that he dragged Rel off to lobby number 2 to have a lord or something. And that Faraday had said to not let anyone interrupt them. So what choice did I have? All I could do was tell the big red to send guard outside. And around what time did all this take place? Let's see. I think it was about 30 minutes before I heard the gunshot. After giving the big red his assignment, he never left the hallway. Not once. How can you make such a claim? Of the girls out in this floor named Lobby showed to me he didn't. The detective never left the hallway. And where did he disappear off to? That's simple. He must have gone into lobby number 2 just as I suspected. And we were in lobby number 1 next door. The only one without an alibi is Gumshoe. It seems that I'm still missing some key pieces of information. Detective Bad, you also heard the gunshot, did you not? I heard it when I was in the defendant to lobby number 1. That's why I came running toward lobby number 2 together with you. How much time elapsed between you hearing the gunshot and your arrival on the scene? Less than a minute. What were your movements upon hearing the gunshot? I grabbed the big lug who was just walking around the hall and raced into lobby number 2. And that's when we discovered the bodies in that order. That makes you the discoverer of the crime scene, right? I guess it does, little miss. I'm about to become a prosecutor very soon! You will treat me with the dignity I deserve or else! You don't leave that thing around anymore, and I'll have you arrested for obstruction, little miss. You wouldn't dare! Just joke. That is really something if you can make Francisca behave. Are we about done? Is there anything else I should ask him about? I'd like for you to tell me the exact time you heard the gunshot. Elders around at the end of the recess, and the trial was about to start again. I think he was supposed to make time for himself to transfer the evidence he was holding, but I got the sense he wasn't going to show for the handoff. So I figured I should go get him or he'd be late. But just as I thought. Bang! The sound of a gunshot hit my eardrums. So the gunshot right before the trial was about to restart, huh? Done here. I don't have any time to waste. Hold it! Oh, come on. All you're doing is standing in front of this door doing nothing. He said that he's somewhat investigating this crime scene. Or rather that he's keeping us under surveillance. To what end? Take the bed, may I ask that you cooperate with us for just a bit longer? I don't have anything else to say. To the two of you. You guys, who are the ones who said you wanted to investigate in the first place? Fine then! Epiosde! We'll just do as we please. Come on, Miles! You may no longer be willing to help us, however. I asked for the forensic scientists' cooperation. Do as you like. It would appear that this vending machine sells snacks and various other foods. Just lovely. What will they think of next? Don't be a joke and cut like these beef jocks. One packet for $9. Defendant's fresh milk. 1/2 pint for $7. Stay neutral as a Swiss Jew until the end of these for $6. They're awfully overpriced. Lineup is simply awful, period. Speaking of snacks, I wonder if that Swiss roll the logo dropped is from this machine. I was wondering about that myself. When you're in hot water, you might need a hot dog. It looks like this slogan was decided through a public contest. And the winner was Prosecutor Winston Payne. What a pathetic slogan! No presence at all. Now, if it were up to me, it would read: if you leave matters in a Von Karma's hands, everyone in court will be found guilty dogs.
Objection!
Overruled! Don't be a joke in court like these beef jocks. I see.
Objection!
Miles Edgeworth, wouldn't you agree that it's a very clever pun? Do you really think they put that much effort into the product name? Even a foolish fool can understand the foolish thinking of the fool who made it up. You're acting so foolishly that I got so thoroughly mad and am now utterly famished. If you wanted a pack of these, all you had to do was act like a normal person. Don't let the prosecution and the defense make a ham sandwich out of you. It sounds like it's directed at the ham of a judge. It certainly isn't directed at me. I can outmaneuver him any day. When it's looking bad, blind your opposition with some OJ. Are they promoting violence? Don't worry, my whip will make sure that anybody following this advice won't be for long. Compared to the sting of a whip, the sting of orange juice may not be so bad. Defendant's fresh milk. What exactly is that supposed to mean? I bet it means that the milk is freshly milked by various defendants on trial right now. Now, I think it might mean that this was milked right here from the various defendants. Miles Edgeworth, you can't possibly be serious. Of course not. Stay neutral as a Swiss do until the end of these. The end of what? Well, I assume it means the end of the trial. I suppose this means that one should eat these during a recess. You can't eat during a trial, so I suppose the only time you can eat them is now, huh? I wouldn't mind if you want to eat one now. They come in packs of 2, after all. We're in the middle of an investigation. Besides, I don't have $6 on me. If pool our money and buy a pack together. If I have to split it with you, then I don't want it! What is this? It's a big colored piece of trash made of rubber. I feel like I've seen something like this before. All I see is a piece of garbage. But you know, the fact that there's a little water loose inside this courthouse, it's simply unforgivable. Gah! It's not like it was I who lit Hood. Rubbish belongs in a rubbish bin. Ugh! Ugh! What's the matter? I pricked myself on one of these cactus's needles. I didn't think the needles on this thing would be so sharp. Well, what did you expect? Can you imagine how bad it would be if you were hit on the head by one of these? Anyway, this cactus seems to be unrelated to our case. Do you really think so? Because I believe that this cactus sitting on this windowsill is completely related. Oh, well, I look forward to your explanation on how exactly it is related. What are those black speckles? I believe it's a pile of ants eating away. Oh, that detective! He came to not a single ant slipped by him! And yet here's a whole hill of them! Ah! What are you hitting me for? As a replacement for that pathetic detective! Perhaps I should add this deduction to the detective's going to have a pay cut. Anyway, I wonder what the ants are eating. From the look and sweet smell of it, pieces of cake and chocolate from a Swiss roll. Miles Edgeworth, the courthouse is to be kept pristine at all times. Ugh! It wasn't me that dropped food on the ground. The courthouse must be kept clean. Ugh! On this bed, it smells like some sort of sweet substance. I can't believe there's someone going around dirtying the courthouse. For shame! Hold it! Calm down, Francisca. Now take a good look. Doesn't that smudge look kind of like a handprint to you? I suppose it could be. Which means perhaps we can lift the prints of the person who sullied this bench. I see, and then we'll know the identity of our mystery slob. You there, the lab technician. Could you please find out who this handprint belongs to? So, yes, sir. We got the results of the fingerprint analysis, sir. And do we know who they belong to? Sir, the fingerprints belong to Detective Gumshoe. Oh, interesting. Good work, officer. And there you have it. Yes, I suppose so. Now we know the identity of the person who dirtied the beds. Since that you and I will be using this information in very different ways. Bits of chocolate and cake. Could they not have come from a Swiss roll? A Swiss roll? Why would a courthouse sell a thing like that? It may not seem like the right venue, however, it is being sold right over there. The vending machine? Ah, I see. stay neutral as a Swiss Jew until the end of these. 2 for $6. Talk about expensive! Leaving the fact that it's on the expensive side aside, the fact that the cake crumb and chocolate bits were found in this hallway suggests that they came from a Swiss roll that was purchased from this machine. I think I have a pretty clear picture of what happened here now. Naturally, after all, I'm here, aren't I? Detective Gumshoe must have sat on this bench as he ate a Swiss roll. And as he ate, he dropped it on the floor and sullied the bench. How could he not clean up after himself? How utterly despicable! Don't you dare whip me again! It wasn't I who made the mess in the first place! Anyway, if it were indeed Detective Gumshoe who brought the Swiss roll, that creates a rather interesting contradiction of facts. A contradiction? Where? I think another look at the special courthouse vending machine is in order. Is this person connected to any of the evidence I hold? Eureka! About Detective Gumshoe's finances, he said that until this morning, he didn't have even a single penny on his personage. Just how poor is that guy? If his bonus really was only $5, then he should not have been able to purchase a pack of Swiss rolls. However, facts being as they are, we found cake crumbs on the floor. Meaning Scruffy must have bought a pack somehow. Indeed. That detective should not have been able to purchase a packing that he did. The question is how. This pink rubbery substance. I saw this in a different form earlier today. I believe this is a piece of a popped balloon. I suppose that's possible. The balloon probably got a little too close to our friend, the windowsill cactus. That would be the logical conclusion, yes? I believe I now have a very firm grasp of what happened here. Well, I do too! Alright, Francisca, would you care to share what conclusions you have come to? Why should I do that? We're still in the middle of a competition, you know! We should be checking to see if your conclusions are wrong first, so you go ahead! It's almost cute that she's going this far so that she wins. Almost. Very well, but first we need to pay His Honor a visit to correct his testimony.